right, my darlings, welcome in. Welcome to Tuesday. How you guys doing? Let's see what's going on for you. I've had a few requests, so I just want to put a little card here for the end of April readings for each zodiac sign. So if you want to check out your individual zodiac sign, here you go. And let's see where we go today. Any zodiac signs that I do see, I will get messages for them in the extended. So let's see what we're doing today. What are we talking about? All right. Impasse. Grounding. Go deep. Explore your roots. Wondrous universe. Walk in beauty. This seems to be highlighting a path that some of you are taking, that it's almost like a release of any kind of struggle that you've had for the last, I'm going to say few months. All right. If any of you have had a real struggle the last few months, you know, the way to work through it, ground, clear, protect. Remember that progression. You ground yourself, you clear what's going on. You can use sage, whatever you want to do. And then you need to protect yourself. I use this black onyx. I use hematite. I wear a bracelet of hematite, right? And I, do the ball of protection around my house, around my heart, all of those things. Only love is allowed in. only love is allowed in. I think that's the Ace of Cups. Yes, I see it. Oh, and the Five of Cups. Very interesting. So some are dealing with the loss of an opportunity. Okay. Some of you may have felt like you were pounding your head against a wall. This is about to clear. All right. This is about to clear. So let's see what's up here. For those of you wondering, this is the Good Tarot, the tarot deck I'm using, the Good Tarot, which I really like. Underneath is Strength. So we'll be looking at Leo in the extended. Leo, King of Swords, Aquarian energy there. Empress, wow. Taurus and Libra, lots coming out right now. Eight of Pentacles. It's almost like, some of you have overcome a past disappointment or series of disappointments. Some of you may have had patterns that kept coming up, and you finally, freed yourself of it by just, letting go of the attachment to whatever it was that you got out of that connection. So we stay in situations until there's enough pain for us to change them. Most people don't change unless there's enough pain. And, if you're somebody who does change because you're like willing yourself to change, or it's time, you feel like you're moving, awesome, because I think that is what the spiritual path is teaching us. But I feel like a lot of people stay and stay and stay and stay and pound and pound and pound and pound and rail and gnash their teeth and want things to change. But really what they're saying is they want another person to change or something like that. And it's like, at some point you just gotta release, because we can't control other people and we can only control ourselves. And it's like, you're kind of seeing what's better for you is to release this thing. Four of Swords, Emperor. Wow. Empress, Emperor. Look at that. Chariot. Yes. Okay. Aries energy here. Five of Wands. Page of Pentacles in reverse. Oh my word. Eight of Wands. It's almost like, let's not go over it and over it or something. I feel like what this is saying to me is that those of you who finally have released from a situation that was never going to change. Like, you finally were just like, I've come from every single angle. I have, and the other person has never deviated, right? It's like they have been a brick wall. This could be a relationship. This could be a situation. Let's just call it a situation, because there could be people involved or not. Doesn't really matter here. I don't really feel like it matters. What I do feel like is coming is someone who has been through the wars like yourself, who has become more nuanced about relationship, become more focused on the things that are important. Now, you could, grab 10 people and ask them what's important in a relationship and you get 10 different answers. But what I'm saying here is I feel like you're in alignment with this person in what matters. I mean, that could be about anything, right? That could be about money. That could be about love, relationships. That could be about how we live every single day. And I feel like there's just this kind of kindred spirit feeling here, which is really nice after a period of maybe feeling like you were butting your head up against a wall with someone else or with a family member or with a career or something like that. It's just like enough. So some of you know I used to do video marketing and I was working in TV news for a long time and I was pitching guests to CNN and all this kind of stuff. And at some point I just realized like I was working with people who who wanted that, but they weren't willing to put in the time and effort to do it, right? Like they wanted to be like this big author and all this kind of stuff, but they weren't necessarily putting in the time. And so it was challenging. My work became much more challenging because I not only became a teacher and a tutor, but also doing the work. And so there was just a lot of, and so I shifted to teaching, of course, teaching about video, teaching about media and all that kind of stuff. And I felt very much relieved. I had tried and tried and tried and tried and tried. And finally I was just like, you know what? Nope. You either want it or you don't. And I can't do the work for both of us. I can't. At some point, the other person has to come to the table with something. There can't just be this, I know this is a connection worth having. I know this is a family member and I feel very guilty about releasing a family member or something like that. There's just this feeling of like, there's something about time served. It's almost like this is like a prison. Okay. And there's something about like time served, like you put in your time, you did your time. Okay. And just because, and also on the flip side of that, like just because someone has a lot of time and effort in something doesn't mean it actually has the outcome that they want, right? It's just listen, I did my best. And like, okay, you're right. Sometimes you just come to the end of a thing. It might not be the end that you think it should be, but sometimes things just end. Like we've learned what we needed to learn here. There's no more reason for this. And so there's just this feeling of like, well, there's nothing else to do. Some of you could have this experience with a relationship where you want one thing, they want a different thing, and you keep trying, you keep coming at it, you keep stomping, you keep trying. And it's like, listen, you want chocolate ice cream and I want salad. And those are just two different things. They are incompatible. And then it's like, there's nothing more to say. There's nothing more to say. It just feels like a release and a relief. So I feel like that's where this Empress has come from, like finally seeing very clearly, King of Swords, without any emotion, without any sort of sentimentality or anything, that, listen, I'm going to stay on the path of self-love. I'm going to do what's good and right for me, whether you're with me or not, whether this job or career is with me or not. I am going to continue to pursue the mission that I have. 8 of Pentacles. All right. I'm going to continue to put in time and effort on things that matter to my mission, things that I value. This is definitely North Node and Taurus stuff. We are all getting asked to say, what am I willing to put time and effort into? What's really important to me? So to some people, it's their health. Some people have had a lot of health challenges, and that is their number one value. Because if you don't have your health, you're really not able to do anything else. So it's a foundational value. Some people feel this way about mental health. Some people feel this way about their stability in whatever way we're talking about, money or mental health. Again, cropping up in my head here, literally, mental health or whatever you feel, your children, education, whatever is your value, whatever is your main value. That is what you're being asked to laser focus on without sentimentality. King of Swords. And then there's Venus, which is really nice because it's not this cold, crusty bastard here. It's really, and then underneath is the warmth of strength, right? This is not without compassion. Excuse me. This is not without compassion. This is not without love. But at some point, you have to release. If something isn't flowing, if there isn't an energy to it, then it's just become like a pound, pound, pound. Then it's like a release is the final frontier here. So I feel like you meet your match once you do this. Once you release that struggle, whatever that struggle has been. I'm going to get a couple cards on that. The impasse. Reflect and redirect your energy. There's the Emperor again. We have a lot of planets moving into Aries in May. Three of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Death. Ace of Pentacles. Some of you are releasing... what you're being asked to do, this is like kind of on the nose here from what I've been saying, but like Emperor, Three of Cups, Five of Pentacles. Some of you are getting nothing for all of your good effort, for your legit time and effort. And whether it's money or success or love or whatever the thing is that you have been chasing with a feeling of that it's like this impasse feeling, death, and then what comes in? Ace of Pentacles, new opportunities. I feel like what is happening with this North Node in Taurus is we are being directed to go down a corridor that we really care about. Not just we care about because our family cares about it, or because what will people think if I quit this, or, you know, I can't turn back now, I've given my word, or something like that. I feel like we're really getting a blast of, why am I doing this? Why am I pushing so hard for this? Why am I putting my time and effort, my, considerable time and effort into a situation when I'm feeling that what would be healthier for me is to ground, clear, protect, and open to a new opportunity to do the healing work here. Four of Swords. Emperor, taking action on this behalf, moving forward. Chariot, moving forward with all due speed. Now things are moving, because when you're aligning with what you value, and when you're like kind of, this is the hill I want to die on, this is something that really matters to me. The other thing might have been about ego. The other thing might have been about a belief that, you had to fight to keep something that has ended or that needs to go away. And what if you just don't? I used to play this game with my mother, like, what's the worst thing that could happen? What's the worst thing that could happen? And like, stare at it with your eyes wide open, King of Swords. Like, what's the worst thing that could happen if I quit this job? What's the worst thing that could happen? And then you just go about the business of constructing the scaffolding that takes away all that fear, right? If you're like, what's the worst that could happen if I quit this job? Well, I could be homeless. I could be, penniless or whatever. Okay, well, don't do that in terms of just quitting without anywhere to go. Find a place to go. Find the new thing. Find the next thing. Put your money and effort and time and treasure into the new thing. And feel the flow. Then that old situation kind of dries up because you're not really putting any time and effort into it. Some of us are putting time and effort into things that have needed closure a while ago, okay? And there's this struggle, Five of Wands, to stay the course. I made a plan and I've done something, I've made some decisions, and I feel like I can't get off this road without maximum embarrassment, without having to admit I was wrong, or without having whatever it is. um, I think it says something to me that there is this action oriented energy here of moving forward, and the Page of Pentacles in reverse is like, have you learned nothing by previous wasting efforts? You know, like in the past, maybe you've really tried so hard to make that relationship work and it just didn't. And, you know, by the time you released it, there was a lot of time and treasure, years of your life gone. But not without a lesson, not without a, hey, this is really what I learned from that. So some of us might be looking back at other similar circumstances that at the end of the day, we might have stayed too long at the party. We might have held on to something too long. And we said, after we let that go, remember when you did it before. That's where self-confidence comes from. Remember what you did before. Remember overcoming something, releasing something, letting something go, and the relief it felt. Eight of Wands, fast. Chariot, fast. You're putting in time and effort now into this new opportunity. Ace of Pentacles, and things will take off. So whoever this is for, some of you are really pounding your head against the wall. You know exactly who I'm talking to. And it's really time to kind of take control of that. See it clearly, release and let go. Some of you may have a partner or a person coming in, a relationship coming in quickly after you let this other relationship go. Some of you may have a career path opening up to you after you let this other thing go. I think the trick of this is letting it go before you really see what the path is. Because then I think there's this like, no, if I can't see the other side of this, I won't do anything. But I think there's some kind of resistance about learning here. Page of Pentacles in reverse. There's some kind of resistance to learning a new thing. It could be that some of you are having a person come in and kind of model this behavior to you. Some of you could have the energy of healing. It could even be like a healing workshop or something like that that gives you the energy to let go, something like that. But there has been this Page of Pentacles in reverse, like I'm not going to learn from this, or I don't want to learn from this. That one. Something like that. Queen of Swords in reverse. Nine of Swords, dear God. Okay, here's the Empress again. So it's no surprise to me the Empress shows up here, Taurus and Libra, about grounding and balancing and all of that kind of behavior. But this is not grounded or balanced behavior. This is like, I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to, and it crops up in the middle of the night. So whatever has been cropping up in the middle of the night is the thing to really focus on and look right in the face about. And you know, some of you might be letting go of a person that you knew a long time, or somebody that you felt was going to be a life partner. And it's like, you don't know what the other side of this is. So there's definitely this resistance to it. Look at that, Chariot. But when you do, when you embrace what you truly value and what makes you feel balanced, then I feel like the old thing just kind of evaporates. There's not really much there to hold it around, to keep it around. And I'm getting the fast movement forward. So we're seeing a lot here. Let me see. Leo, Aquarius, Taurus, Libra, Aries, Cancer, Scorpio. Okay, going to look at all of those special messages for those signs in the extended. I'm going to keep going with this. I am going to use this Hidden Truth Oracle deck in the extended, which I think is kind of amazing. I love that deck. I just received it as a gift, and I've been using it in the Twin Flame readings and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, so link is below if you want to continue on with me. If you're part of Pathfinders, rest of the reading starts right now.